Yeah, I think. Did you pencil in officer elections on the agenda you had, Mr. Ford?
Yeah, it's between 2 and 3.
Okay.
Well, I got 5:30. The girls are not here. Give them another minute or two. Which one you calling? I'll call the other.
Are you recording on your end?
I'm recording on the Facebook and my camcorder, but I'm not on Zoom currently.
Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
Huh? Looks like I've been overruled.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
We're waiting for
I guess we
you.
don't need that.
Okay. So you headed this way? Okay. Good. Bye.
Was
Miss
that Amber?
Amber, she's,
Amber or Rachel?
yeah, she's headed this way.
Okay.
I'm gonna call Rachel.
Rachel said she's on her way.
Okay.
Who's currently there?
Mr. Ford, Mr. Jewell, and Mr. Burt. Or Commissioner Ford, Commissioner Jewell, Commissioner Burt.
Okay.
sister's in the ER at Vanderbilt, and they won't admit her, can't admit her till they get the COVID test back.
Who is?
My sister.
Has she got COVID?
No, she has no symptoms of COVID, but they won't put her in the hospital. She's having problems with her heart until they know whether she has COVID or not. I'm about ready to go down there and start shooting.
That same way, the alcohol.
But she's been laying in the ER since 8 o'clock this morning.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my gosh.
One of my good photography buddies died this morning.
With this COVID picking up, there's probably several more.
They said today was the highest case count yet.
Yeah, it's really been, I've been watching it on special news on this and on TV, and it ain't good. Ain't good. Over 220,000 deaths now. As of today,
I can go ahead.
you can go ahead.
We got one. There comes one.
It's all making the order.
Rachel just pulled in.
Wish you knew this much.
I knew that to get them here.
Reviewing the minutes from July the 20th, we do not have them. I thought there was on this down here, but they're not.
They're right here.
You got them?
Yeah. From the black line down.
Yes, they are.
And there is a problem. It says next quarterly meeting at the very bottom is scheduled for January 18th.
Mhm.
That should be October 19th. I think.
I think that means when the next quarterly meeting is after this one. I don't think that one.
Oh, okay, that was,
Quarterly.
okay. That wasn't part of those meetings. Okay.
Right.
Got it.
Hey.
We saved you seat.
Thank you.
We just opened the meeting, when put your names on the way, she should be here in a little bit. You can see all the members were present. We reviewed, the third quarter, April and July. We do have the meeting present, the way I read this down here, the third quarter was reviewed at the July meeting. Committee went over all the purchases in excess of 5,000 made to a single vendor for the third and fourth quarters for fiscal 220. And Dwight made a motion to accept it. Any questions about that? It's about as plain as snuff. We didn't meet in April, so we carried that over, and we did that in July.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion by Dwight, second by Mr. Burton to approve the minutes. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Now, if you go to the next item, between 2 and 3, we've got to elect officers before we get into the business part of the meeting. Chair is now entertain, whomever you want to be the chairman this year.
Make a motion that we let the officer stand as elected.
Second.
All right, let's see.
Make a motion, approve by acclamation.
Well, let's see, I'm chairman and Shane was the vice chairman
Yep,
and you were the secretary.
yep,
Is
yep,
that right?
yep.
I think that's right.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations? All in favor, let it be known, say aye. All right, so, Mr. Shane, you'll be vice chair.
No. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
I think we take it.
Okay,
Yeah, we did.
okay.
Madam Secretary, do you have a sign-in sheet for the group to sign?
Just walked in.
Well, we'll find out.
I think I can remember.
They'll pull it off of the minutes.
Yeah,
Turn over on your business part of it now, and take a look at these, if you see, most of them are, we've got contracts on, but there are a few we don't have contracts on. And we can review them all if you want to. Custodial service, I'm assuming, is that a quarter, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
That's what I thought. So that's, but I believe you said earlier in one of our meetings that was cheaper than the way you've been doing it.
Yeah, this was a contract service, so they're a private company based here in Trousdale County. And actually retaining them was about $750 less than what we were paying for one employee with the benefits and everything included. So we actually got two people for a little bit less than the price of one.
Any questions about that one? Let's move on to Arts Network. Mayor's Office Information and Technology Support, Sheriff Department Technology Support, and Jail Information Technology Support. And it appears to be a little cheaper than it was in the last quarter. I reckon that's a good thing. With these contracts on them, is that the reason that I'm seeing a lot of these cheaper?
Well, if you look at it, the first quarter of 1920 was it's actually increased year over year, but the reason is because the Sheriff's Department's upgrading some of their equipment. So that was the reason why it increased there.
Any questions on this one? Communication lines for various departments that could not be added to our phone system. For the Tri-County Health Department, senior citizens in the Sheriff's Department. There again, that one appears to be down there, which that's a good thing. Any questions about that one? The next one is, we paid Blankenship Collision Center for sheriff's vehicles, $37,2830. That's an insurance recovery, I believe, isn't it?
Well, again, the column on the left, it says quarter one, 2021, that's what we're currently reviewing. The other one's kind of comparison from last fiscal year.
The dark one is the fiscal year we're in now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
So it did go up, and the reason is because there've been several vehicles got damaged due to chases or something like that.
This next one, Sheriff Department equipment, new vehicles with VHF radios.
Yes,
Is
were
that
they?
2 or 3?
I'm sorry.
Is that 2 cars or 3?
I think it's just about all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because where the 911 upgraded
He
the,
upgraded
Upgraded
the whole fleet.
and 911 upgraded the radio system, so they'll put more new equipment on the Pumpkin Branch Tower and upgraded their system throughout the county, so they had to go to new radios inside their vehicles to meet the new requirements.
Did this, particular money, does it come out of his budget or what?
Yeah, it comes out of the sheriff's department's budget.
The new radio system and the console is a dual system, it's analog and digital. And they had to upgrade the radios to digital.
Now, about 2/3 of the way down, there's another one, sheriff's department equipment for new vehicles. That's the new cars that he purchased, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
And that was from, Ford of Murfreesboro.
Yes, sir, they got the state contract.
Right. Okay, any questions about that one? And then the next one is portion of medical services for coroner autopsies. Is that one ours, is that one that was done for Core Civic?
We have to pay for it and get reimbursed for Core Civic, so it'll just show as an total expenditures on ours, then it'll show on a revenue line item for where we get reimbursed by Core Civic. We have seen an increase this year just due to the circumstances of the year.
I remember that. Okay, Gilmore Refrigeration. HVAC Services, Sheriff Department, and a new dishwasher. $12,537. Any questions on that?
Yeah, I did. Mayor, this dishwasher that was installed in the jail,
Yes, sir.
is that just a one-time fee Gilmore hit us with, or did he hit us for the 3 times he had to come back and install it to where it was, he didn't install it right the first time?
That one, I don't know, I have to go back and look at each purchase order, but I do know there was one total fee for when they put it in.
Right, understand.
Right, so the other ones, I'd have to go back and look at each purchase order.
Okay.
Because they come in different.
Yeah, I want to call you about that, because like I said, he came back and hooked it up backwards 2 times, so I don't see why we should have to pay for that.
But I'd have to look at it.
I did it
because
2
I've been-
times, I have no idea, but
You got mine?
you did.
How do you?
I forgot all about it. She called me and I called her back and told her that I was gonna come get it,
It's
and
got
they
a
didn't do
pump that
it.
sucks the liquid detergent out of it.
Yeah.
He hooked it up backwards to where it was blowing air into the bottles and, you know,
You done that twice.
making a beautiful little mess.
Moving along to Hartsville Services Center, Sheriff Department vehicles, maintenance and repair.
Give me those two.
Any questions about that? Institutional home sale, that's, food for the jail, that's under contract. Up Kerry, he's doing the medical, inmate medical services now. Is he saving us money there, or no, he was supposed to?
Yeah, it's a pretty big savings over the arrangement they had before. I believe this is the second, at least the second fiscal year we've had them as a medical provider for the jail.
With the local government corporation, mayor's office, trustee, clerk, master, circuit court, clerk, and this is software for all of them. Any questions about that?
Is that once a year, Mayor, on license renewals?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Most of that stuff's front loaded, and it comes out at the beginning of the year, like your insurance payments and all that stuff usually come out at the beginning of the year.
Okay, right.
All right. Martel Electronics, again, we've got, Sheriff's Department, and that's for the last, vehicles we bought, I'm sure. Municipal equipment, waste collection, hit us in for side loader, trash truck.
Yeah, that's the mechanical arm, it's on the door-to-door trash truck. It had worn out a little bit, had a lot of play in it, so we had to get that rebuilt. And that is just a one-time expense, so it should be good for quite a few years now.
Any questions about that? Harmon Energy, that's fuel reimbursement by funds and businesses. Is that running about the same there?
It's
I know I'm
actually,
seeing two figures there.
it's actually a little bit less than where we were this time last year.
The gas is down a little bit compared to where it was.
Yes, sir. We're not traveling as much outside the county because conferences and stuff canceled, and not going to meetings and those kind of things.
Now we're down the streetscape project.
And that particular line item there, that is contracted service, that's engineering fees for the streetscape project.
And then the other is, next one is Safe Industries, and that's fire department, gear and equipment. Any questions about that?
Are they still on schedule to come back and finish up the streetscape next month?
Last I heard, it's supposed to come back second week in November, and it should be a 2 to 3 week project, and it should be the end of it.
Have they been paid a good amount of that, or still owing some funds, or what?
Well, if you see here, we paid in this fiscal year $24,153.23, so I mean, they've been paid a good portion of what was due.
It's $242,000, Mark. 153. I just wondered how much of it can be paid. Any questions on that one? Moving on to Smith County Solid Waste, as you can see there up a little bit, we knew they were gonna go up, so. We locked in for what, 4 years or 5?
I believe it's 5 years.
We locked in for 5 years, what, $37 a ton?
Yes, sir. And this is, I mean, when you're seeing the increase here, where you had a lot of companies telling their people to work from home or stay home, you had more people inside the county, because right now it's about 60% of our workforce drive outside the counties. When you had a significant number of those staying home, it increased the amount of trash.
Striker Sales Corporation, $100,564.84. EMS new cots for the ambulances. That all they got from, sounds awful high for new cots.
Well, that's those ones they showed off at the emergency services that are powered so that they don't strain the EMS workers' backs and legs and that kind of stuff. So
Those power cots.
Yeah. Tri-County Electric, like our electric bill's down a little bit.
well, we didn't have Little League very much. We didn't have the pool open, so that saves them electrical.
This EMC fiber, is that a one-shot deal on that?
Yes, sir, that's contracted. That's the broadband service to the county.
Any questions on any of this?
I'm sorry, Mr. Ford, were you asking if, no, that amount, we pay that amount quarterly. It's not one time a year, that's quarterly.
Right.
Okay.
What is this for the use of their system, or what is this exactly for?
Well, it's where they provide the internet service to the county, so it goes to all the county buildings and
All the different offices?
all the different offices that use it and all that stuff come through this, except for the ones that may be required to be on something else by state law or some other body, but everything outside of that is provided by Tri-County.
Any other questions from you? Now I entertain a motion to approve what's been presented to us here.
Motion to approve.
Pardon?
Motion to approve.
Do I hear a second? Second, Ms. Russell. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye to approve.
Aye.
So did approve. Anything else to come before the body? Mary, you have anything?
No, sir.
No other business, any public comment? Not a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Motion by Commissioner Burton, and a second by Ms. Elmo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.